Welcome to Bougie and Boring, a spa business podcast. I'm Amanda Louisa, a licensed skincare professional and spa owner. This podcast is all about creating a business that's both high-end and effortless. What I like to call bougie and boring, because the goal isn't chaos and overwhelm, it's simplicity and ease. I'll show you how to build a spa that runs smoothly, feels inspiring, and is so well structured, it practically runs itself. You'll learn how to create a business that's not just successful, but truly enjoyable to own. Let's get right into it. Welcome back to Bougie and Boring, where spa owners come to build businesses that work for them, not consume them. I'm Amanda, and today we're going to be talking about a pressure cooker you might be living in right now, the constant juggle of managing a team, meeting client expectations, and keeping everything moving, both at work and at home. So if you're feeling like you're wearing 12 hats, the owner, the leader, the receptionist, the problem solver, the scheduler, and on top of that, you're also making school drop-offs, packing lunches, trying to remember which kid needs to wear spirit wear tomorrow, then this is the episode for you. So let's talk a little bit about the invisible load of leadership. I think it's something that if you're a first-time leader and you're not really familiar with everything that should be done, you've had some maybe experience in the past, and obviously you've been led by leaders before, so you kind of have an idea of what you like and don't like. But running a spa with a team, it sounds like freedom, but for many spa owners, especially moms, it's just a different kind of busy. You're not just responsible for clients anymore. Now you're caring for your team, the client's expectations, payroll deadlines, admin overflow, your kids' schedules and needs, and getting up in the middle of the night if one of your littles needs you for any reason. And this invisible pressure to keep it together, with air quotes, for everyone, right? It's not just about your time, it's also about your energy. And that energy drain, it tends to add up. And so it can feel heavy, especially when you don't have clear boundaries with your team, or you still feel responsible for everyone's happiness. You're maybe hesitant to let go because you're afraid things won't be done right. It also makes asking for help a little bit harder in any situation. So you're trying to lead well, but no one ever showed you how to lead without carrying it all as well. So when both your spa and your family are leaning on you as the default decision maker, which is very common for us women, especially for moms, it can feel like you're running two full-time jobs, right? So how do you lead without losing yourself, without losing your mind? How do you make this work? So there are a couple ways that I have come to find, and I'm not perfect at this, but I might be just a few steps ahead of you in it. So the first thing is to have clarity over control. So instead of trying to control everything, be very clear in the roles, define the roles, no matter if it's, everything from, someone who's super part-time and only comes in every other Saturday to help with admin work, to your housekeeper, if you have one. And, maybe you hire someone to come into your home once a month to just do a deep clean because it gives your mind mental clarity. So know what is yours to own and what is not. Be very clear on the roles that everyone plays. So just like you teach your kids to put away their own shoes and to throw away their own garbage, your team can also own their responsibilities. So the second thing is to have boundaries. And this can be so hard and challenging sometimes, especially if you're not sure. I actually had a team member once, this was many years ago, but she was younger and this was her first job, big girl job. And I said, just make sure, I said, it's okay to have boundaries with clients. And she said, what's a boundary? And that kind of shook me to my core because I'm like, what do you mean, what's a boundary? Like, you should totally know what a boundary is. And so, just to ever since then, I've been very adamant about describing and defining the boundaries, and because it can look different for everyone, but just know that these are always changing and evolving, and it's okay if something is okay today but is not okay tomorrow because you realize that you don't like something or you do like something. That's okay. So a boundary is basically where it's like a if-then statement. So if you hit me, then I will leave the room. Or if you talk to me like that, then this conversation is over. So a boundary is only a boundary if the consequence is upheld. So be empathetic, obviously, but don't absorb other people's energy, other people's responsibility, basically. So you can support someone without taking their stress home with you. That's okay. It's definitely a learned skill, but it's also okay to kind of let that go and know that you have done everything that you can, and now you must take care of the next thing, whether you're going into work or coming away from work. So another thing that will help so much is just having a system, any type of system to reduce decision fatigue. This is so important because it helps with team communication, with your just having SOPs and policies and essentially a checklist, rules that stop you from being the go-to answer for everything. They can always reference this document or video or the routine that has been created around this thing to make it an easy thing to do. So just like a shared family calendar keeps everyone on the same page at home, the SOPs, the policy, the team communication tools help you from being that one bottleneck in your business. And so if somebody comes to you and they're like, Amanda, how do I do this thing that you know is in the SOP document? You've already answered this for them 2 or 3 other times. They come to you and you can still say things with clarity and kindness and compassion. And so if they come to you and they're like, oh, I know I've already asked you this like 3 or 4 times, but like, what do I do again? And just be like, you know what? I actually made this document specifically so you can always reference it and it should answer every question that you have. Do you know how to find it? And if typically they just don't even realize, 1, that it's there, 2, that this particular topic is within it, and 3, that they don't even know how to get to it. So I always make sure that they know how to find things, and sometimes that is the thing that you need to reiterate, and even that is it should be extremely simple, like the click of a button. For me, I keep my SOPs in Teachable. It's a wonderful platform. I really liked it. It's very easy and straightforward and user friendly from the client side of things, but I use it for my employees. So it's not really for clients, it's just for employees. So I put it as a tab in my bookmark toolbar on Google Chrome, and they literally it says SOPs. They click on it, log in, obviously, because they have to like be logged in. I'm not going to put my, proprietary spa SOPs on the free on the internet. So, I do have, that available, and it's super duper easy how they find it. So systems are they're incredible for this reason, and they help to take the load off of your own shoulders. Another thing is to train your team to be resourceful, almost like sufficient. So instead of giving the answer every single time, ask a question instead. So what do you think the next step is? Or what would you do in this situation? This helps your team member and, your littles, if you have them, to build problem solving skills. Okay, so this is going to be so helpful for them to be resourceful, to be self-starters, to honestly get a little creative if they need to be. And I have found that when I do this, I actually will even implement the things that they talk about. So like typically this happens around when I am training a new esthetician, and it is like a service that I'm teaching them how to do, and they don't know the next step. And so I will say, well, what do you think you need to do? And so then they'll say, what they think they need to do. And if it is the next step, then I say, great, keep going. And if it's not, but it's a great suggestion, I will actually add that into our SOPs because it's better than what we already had. So I feel like I learned so much just by not giving them the answer to things. And it can actually make you better as a spa when you don't. So that might be something to also, like another angle to look at it from, okay? So, let me think about what my experience with this, because I always like to kind of end with me sharing a little bit about how I've experienced this. And there was a time in my leadership journey when I had the habit of jumping in too quickly whenever something came up, whether it was like a scheduling hiccup or a supply issue or like a client request. And my thought process, which I'm sure is extremely common, is it'll be faster if I just jump in and do it myself. But I was robbing my team member the opportunity to problem solve and figure it out for themselves. So, and I'm sure in the moment it felt like it was going faster because, for whatever reason, I felt like there was this sense of urgency that it needed to get done very immediately or something bad would happen. But what I didn't realize is that by constantly stepping in, I was training my team to rely on me instead of thinking for themselves. So it wasn't giving them the chance to figure out a better or faster way to get things done, which in ways that I might not have even thought of, right? So when I started stepping back and giving them the space and letting them kind of own the solution, I started noticing that they came up with new, more efficient ways to handle common problems and that they were more confident in their job, more confident in their abilities. And the best part is that it actually took so much off of my plate. It was incredible, honestly. And that feeling of not having something on your plate, it's obviously really good. But when you're so used to having something on your plate, when that weight is finally lifted, it feels odd. Kind of like you can't relax. You're just kind of like, oh my gosh, I need to be doing something. But no, this is what you wanted. You wanted the ease that comes with people that support you, right? So that shift, that weight being lifted off didn't just lighten my workload, but it made the whole spa run more smoothly without me having to be in the middle of everything and creating a bottleneck, because that's truly what I was the bottleneck. So leadership doesn't have to mean doing it all yourself. You can be a connected, compassionate leader without running on empty in this way. So if you are feeling stretched between your team, caring for clients, keeping up at home, please book a discovery call with me. This is something that I have totally gone through. I've solved this problem. I'm just 10 or 15 steps ahead of you in this, and I can show you exactly what I did and how I was able to create time freedom and financial freedom for myself. And I'm currently working on location freedom by having this virtual business. But I can absolutely help you with creating a plan that brings clarity and support and breathing room back into your business and your life. So just know that there is a solution out there and there's support if you want it, and you deserve to lead without losing yourself, and it is absolutely possible. I will see you in the next one, my friend. Bye. If you found value in today's conversation, don't forget to subscribe or share with a spa owner friend. You can also leave a review on iTunes, and in the comments section, ask any question you want, and I'm so happy to answer it right here on the podcast. Ready for the next step? Schedule a free 30-minute discovery call to see how I can help you with your business. You can also head over to amandaluisaconsulting.com and grab a free resource. I've got so many good ones over there. Whether it's hiring, paying yourself more, overcoming burnout, I've got you covered with resources to help make your business bougie and boring. Peace and love, my friend. I'll talk to you soon.